at the same time too, you want to talk about you are concerned about governance, because governance affects everybody,
everything.
So whoever is governing should expect that conversations about them will be had and will be heard. Linguists will know the difference between both. But most importantly, it is how the things those in charge of governance do affect the populace that determine whether indeed they're doing a great job or they're doing not so great a job. I heard you talk about the whole Band A, Band B thing.
Right.
I remember my impression the first time the Band A, Band B, Band C division came. And I remember, I think I was speaking with my wife and I just said this thing is a scam. At the end of the day, it's going to be a scam. One day, I just felt it was a subtle way of increasing electricity tariffs. What do? You split. Okay, there will be an uproar if you do it in one fell swoop. So what do? You categorize. Okay, put some people in Band A, put some people in Band B. The people you're going to put in Band A are usually the guys who don't really care so much if there are any such people in this country. Perhaps people who can afford it the most, right?
Perhaps,
so they will complain, and then you tell them they're going to get almost 24 hours of, like a minimum of 20 hours a day, right? And they will look at it and say, considering what I'm spending on diesel and all of that, if I have 20 hours of supply every day, do the math, do the calculation. Yeah, I will save money, blah, blah, blah. And so it starts. And the other people too are thanking God. Hey, thank God they did not move us there. Oh, they say we will only get 13 hours or one thing. If we get that one, we are fine now. And then you begin to get the 20 hours for like 1 week. After 1 week, you begin to get 15. After that, you begin to get 12. After that, you begin to get 6. After that, it's just back to what it used to be.
And the tariff remains the same.
The tariff remains the same. What is more, they are just going to upgrade other people to that Band A, Band A, Band A, Band A. So, how many people now on Band A? 50 million houses?
Millions, yeah.
Millions. All right. So, again.
You said all right.
So, it's hard.
Yeah.
Because if I stay in a place where my house alone, just one building or just a story building, but about 2 main flats and some support structures. For billings alone, you are spending millions every month. Can you believe that?
Every month.
For what is it? NEPA is PHCN now.
Yeah.
Millions
for
every month. Not power alone. Power alone will include generator.
Okay.
In my house, we still use 1,500 liters of diesel every month, and it's never enough. Do the math. How much is a liter of diesel now? Our supply is 1,500 liters every month.
Every month,
and it's not enough.
And you're on Band A.
I'm on Band A.
Yeah.
So again, at the end of the day, you just feel like, okay, what are these people? How many people are in the compound? How many of us will split 3 million or 2 million or 2 point something million? How many people will split it? So even if you are a company, you're running businesses, how does it add up? How does it affect the bottom line? How does all of this extrapolate at a time when everything else is, it's like they say double whammy, but there's also multiple whammy. This one hits you. The prices of food go up. The dollar rate crashes. And at the same time, your bills go up, meaning everything just goes up. So you are not just hit with increased house rent, increased NEPA bills, increased fuel, diesel and fuel. My favorite car that I used to drive is the Geely M-Grad. Small, I like the car because the tank is very small. So before all this nonsense started, I used to fill that tank with 8,000 naira. 8,000 naira. Now, you can barely fill it with 50,000. That's small tank. It's a small tank. It's not up to even 50 liters. It's just small tank. And you cannot fill it with more. What is more, the rate at which I've even started things I never used to pay attention to.
Yeah.
I discover that when I buy fuel from certain stations, the fuel like evaporates.
Yeah.
Like that. So everybody is calculating. I have my older brother told me, choose where you buy fuel wisely. Anywhere you see downfall drivers flocking, that is where you go and buy your fuel. Because they know. So maybe you'll learn that today. Anywhere you see downfall drivers going to queue up to buy fuel, go and buy your fuel there. There is something there. It's either the gauge is great, or the fuel lasts or something. I don't know. I've seen all sorts on social media of the games fuel stations play. So all those mental gymnastics that we never used to think about. And I'm saying it as, and I thank God, they say, what percentage of Nigerians are poor now? 63%?
75.5%.
75.5. So sometimes, I was having a conversation with my wife one day, and I was like, look, we should be grateful that we are not poor. My wife said, we are poor. You are poor, die. And in my head, I'm thinking, okay, I am blessed. I'm fortunate I'm not poor. But every time my wife's voice rings in my eye, and I know what when you say, this thing about the middle class. It was
freaking funny.
Middle class is like civil service level 1 to level 14. Civil service level 16. It's level 1 to 16. Middle class. So you're like somewhere you don't even know whether you are level 3 or you are level 14. But now with the middle class almost completely erased, it's just the haves and the have-nots.
And that's what the World Bank report says, that margin is becoming larger and larger between the poor and the rich.
Yeah,
there's virtually no middle.
So certainly. So summer is here. Summer approaches. If you are not going on a holiday with your family this summer, and it's not because you guys just say make we rest now, make we stay for Nigeria this time. If it is any consideration other than that, you're poor.
You're a poor man. Just a poor man.
And look at me coming here, hoping to share how people can, and it's just crazy. Sheriff, you remember when I had this conversation with you that I needed airtime to do this show. It was just after the fuel subsidy had been removed.
Yes.
And the implications were so enormous that you could tell. If you are managing business, imagine, so I was privy to certain numbers. You are managing business, and in the business you spend about 11 million in a month buying diesel to run your businesses across the country. And within a 1 month period, that's not even where it is now. That initial rise shot your monthly diesel spend overnight in 1 month from about 11 million to close to 50 million, just overnight.
How are you ever going to, how can anyone survive that?
So how are you going to, your monthly salary, and you are there, if you are a business owner, you know what they say, that unfortunately there are too few business owners and too many employees. Well, you see, when you are an employee, you don't really understand the mind of the owner of the business or the employer. So if you've grown to like management, you begin to see things, you begin to feel sorry even for the business owners. This is a radical change. The cost of doing business, everything goes up. Meanwhile, the cost of living for your staff go up overnight. And you've got to increase.
And the pressure is on you.
At a time when you are spending a whole lot more. It's like you are juggling both. It's like you are being hit. You have to spend more when the bottom line is now heavily affected. And that is the situation with many businesses. if you are not in a line of business where you can steal stuff, if you are that kind of person who can steal stuff, because there are people who will not steal stuff even if they had access on well, I don't know whether it's fortunate or unfortunate. I will say, fortunately for me, I will not steal stuff no matter what opportunity I have.
Same here.
But I also understand that once you have that kind of mindset, you must be prepared for everything, including the potential of poverty and not being able to, like your reverse would say, beg, pay, or those kind of things that they say, like match your mates or your colleagues in the things that they do. But essentially, it's food for thought. Which is why, as I was coming to the studio, I was feeling a lot of regret, because if you ask me what I would have really liked to do, I would have liked that conversation you were having to continue. But we thank God for those who believe in God, who still believe in God, and those of you who don't, thanks whatever it is you thank, whether it is goodness or
or the universe or
whatever it is you thank.
Yeah.
But I would thank God that in all of it, because we're at levels now where, think about it, realistically, the people you used to know who were struggling 2 years ago, some of whom you used to support, think of where they are now.
Yeah.
Nothing has changed. And some of these are dependents. They are either retirees, old family members who are no longer productive, who cannot make money
You'll
anymore.
be shocked that some of them are even your colleagues.
Yeah, of course. What are you saying, Sheriff? Come on, man. So friends, family, these were people who were already struggling and you were supporting them. Now, you can't even support them like that anymore. You have to cut back the support, and nothing has changed for them. Their kids that were in secondary school then are probably in university now, and to make matters, sometimes it's crazy, man. All right, we'll come back and we'll continue.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We'll be right back.
Taking us on a journey, and when you add plenty of vegetables like efo, ugu, and season with the rich taste of North seasoning cubes, even better.
So go ahead and elevate your meals with more vegetables and the rich taste of Knorr cubes. Today, eat for good.
Is that Alfie playing football in the rain?
It's Toby Chio.
My goodness. When did he grow up?
That's it with kids, so.
It's amazing how your child grows up before your eyes. Enable their thriving development with the new NanKid 4 with HMOs to support your child's development, probiotics, and high-quality proteins to support age-appropriate growth. NanKid 4. Nourish your child's potential.
Now so I did on my own. Now a message enter my phone. Fiam. I can't click Fiam. Now so my money for account go. Fiam. Hey. If to say na Airtel you they use, them for first alert you before you click Airtel they identify spammers. Then alert them customers with AI powered service to make sure say you know for Mugu for Wuru scam messages. No charges, no subscription needed. Me self they go join Airtel. Fiam.
Airtel, a reason to imagine.
He done of trading himself. James, hello.
Susan, I beg. Say you the wine me.
For where? You who no longer depend solely on your salary.
So you people trade and don't carry us along in this office, Abby?
Jerry, now you they talk like this. Who doesn't want an extra stream of income? But I'm still looking for better trading conditions, I beg. Fast execution of my trades and possibly an account where swap no go carry all my profits where I no know.
Guy, HFM.com.
For me, I wouldn't mind better spreads at all, and it won't be a bad idea to be able to make withdrawals in a flash.
All we want is transparency and great customer service.
Guys, I said HFM.com.
Which one is HFM.com again?
Switch to HFM today to enjoy ultra-fast execution, 1 to 2,000 leverage, tight spreads, swap-free, and more.
Guy, show us the way now.
Wait, are you sure deposits and withdrawals are sharp?
I said HFM.com. Visit www.hfm.com. HFM, online trading at its finest. To take control of the money where you they make and waiting go happen next. Now the cocoa of life for plenty people there. How to manage their money? They start with how them they run things with their partner. But true, plenty says they inside family planning. When you do family planning, you go fit to use Confido. Take the run things with your partner under the moon. You go get plenty joy as money where you they make go reach you spend. And your health and your well-being go they protected. Don't tanda the look. Make you join body with plenty people them. We don't discover the joy with the inside of family planning for Lagos. Remember, say you fit to choose from different plans where they available and make everything sweet for your future. Visit your health center today. Oh yeah, make this move now. Make your future day full with happiness and the good health. Now the Challenge Initiative, TCI, and Development Communications Network, DEFCOMS, do this message.
Update.
Extra value don't land though. We don't reserve now. We don't reserve. Your 50cl Coca-Cola don't turn to 60cl. Yes now. Now 20% more refreshment, plenty enjoyment with the same Obonge Coca-Cola taste. Not carry last though. Sharply go grab your new 60cl Coca-Cola today. Make you enjoy better refreshment. This now extra value with the same Obonge taste. Coca-Cola, real wonder. Even Fanta and Sprite self follow for this one oh.
We're back. We are back.
We're back on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Let us stand in the gaps for you
and connect you to the rest of the world.
And Russia's defense minister Sergei Shoigu is shown on state television visiting troops fighting in Ukraine. The Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries has raised Nigeria's oil production quota.
In all we do, we remain committed to informing you.
It's 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Your station for talk.
Welcome back. This is Nigeria Info. This week, I came into the studio with the intention, alongside Niya Diosho and Razak Olayegbe, of discussing AI native. If you know what that means, if you are a digital native or AI native, you'll understand what we're talking about. And we're going to look at the challenges in the integration of AI in fintech. There's a new report that I also wanted to share. Razak Olayegbe had done fantastic work on this. Finally, the men are here because it took a while trying to reach out. Razak and Ni are stuck somewhere. I just heard Ni saying about wind up underneath. You probably heard it too. I hope you are probably wound up. So that suggests you are probably in traffic. I'm not too sure what it is. Good morning, Ni. How are you today?
Good morning, Femi, and good morning, our listeners.
Fantastic. Unfortunately, Ni cannot be in the studio. Razak can't be in the studio, and that's why you are hearing them via technology. I was just saying that we're looking about people's worry about data privacy, algorithmic bias, and job losses in the future due to the AI revolution, especially with regards to AI integration into fintech. Before that, the McKinsey report that I referenced a while ago estimates that AI could generate up to $1 trillion in additional revenues annually for the global banking industry. $1 trillion extra, in which case it will automate manual processes in fintech. I will give you 24/7 customer support. That means customer care centers will probably be a thing of the past. People are having conversations with AI, with ChatGPT 4 these days. Some people are even being very polite. Please, can you help me? Oh, thank you. And AI will ask you, oh, are you okay? Or do you want me to do more? Oh, please, I really appreciate it. You've been of immense help. Meanwhile, can you help me? Like, even married people are running the risk of losing their spouses to the different AI tools that people use. Then there's also fraud detection. They'll be able to detect, AI will be able to detect crime in real time. Personalized services, the banks will be able to give customized financial products using AI. Then there's also risk management, biometric authentication, predictive and analytics. Now, all of these are positive when you look at it. AI will be able to do this on a global scale. The question is that, look, we've discussed how AI will aid fintech processes before. You, as a person, are you an AI native yourself?
Well, thank you for your call, and thank you to our listeners. Yes, I'm an AI native. I mean, to start from there, and the truth about it is that we must start on that. We need to continue to, evolve, right? Mm-hmm. And let me say very clearly that what we're experiencing at the moment is not new. All right, it's not new. AI is not new. We've had instances in the last couple of years where we have, in fact, a lot of banks will tell you that you're going to interact with their AI to be able to answer some certain questions. Even WhatsApp, for example, has a chatbot, right, that they're using for customer service now. And these things are used to, to learn human behavior, to learn, an algorithm of how these questions come.
Okay.
Remember, I talked about my phone being hacked, our customer service line being hacked.
Yeah, we talked about it last week.
Last week, you understand? And in trying to resolve that problem with Meta, I was chatting with an AI, all right? And you imagine some of the responses that it gives to you that are almost close to accurate. Now, the difference with the fact that you realize that you're talking to AI is that it is written at the bottom of that chat that this is AI.
Mm-hmm.
You get it?
Yep.
Now, so you start to wonder how they start to mimic these things. They collect data, all right, from different people, simulating the data across every, every experience, all right, to be able to come up with something that is well fine-tuned. What we're seeing in terms of the script that Razak has written is that we must brace up for the expansion of AI, all right? We must brace up for the expansion of activities, beyond things like customer service. At some point, you'll probably even go to the hospital, that you're probably going to the hospital, and what you're going to be getting in terms of response might not even be a human being, all right? Because when you come and complain of malaria, for example, the symptoms of malaria most of the time will not change. There could just be variations, right? So it is that variation that would eventually tell you, oh, this is not just malaria, and it might be typhoid that is added to it. Now, what that means for us, and in the conversation we're having, is that people must start to evolve with technology as it comes. AI has come to stay, all right? It will continue to determine what we do in our lifetime. When you talk about ChatGPT, you talk about all of those responses, prompts that we do, and it's make life a lot simpler. Because for me now, on one end, I'll probably use Google to get some certain information. Maybe you want to write an essay, for example, now. You go to AI to go and write an essay for you, all right? So all you just need to is probably put in some little things to be able to tweak it, to be able to meet what you want it to meet.
So some people worry, aren't we outsourcing brain power? The ability, for instance, you know this more than as well as anybody. When we were younger, phone numbers were things we all had in our heads. Even in the early years of the GSM revolution, we still used to have, some of us had 10, 20 phone numbers. Now, there are not many people who can recite 4 numbers by heart right now. Even our kids, you are seeing a lot of kids who literally have to check through the device to give you their own number. So people are saying that, people aren't writing anymore, people are not thinking anymore. Why bother when AI can just do it? So AI has value and all of that. At the end of the day, I was seeing a report during the course of the over the weekend, like what is going to happen 5 years from now. And the experts say 5 years from now, the AI is now teaching AI. AI is now improving on AI. And it is predicted that in 3 to 5 years from now, we'll have super smart AI that will no longer need human intelligence to lead it one way or another. I'm not even bothered about that. We'll cross that river when we get there. But do you have some worries, some concerns, however?
Well, when we talk about worries and concerns, they would always be there. All right? They would always be there. And the reality of it is that the world is not going to wait for any of us.
Yes, sir.
All right? Yeah, the world is not going to wait for any of us. We just have to live with the world the way it evolves. All right? What AI has brought, like I said, 2-3 years ago, AI had started. The last time we had a conversation, Kofi said something. He said, AI has always been there, you understand? It is now that we meet a thing.
Yeah.
All right? It's been there. So that tells you that, look, it's about its time. So if you had heard about it 2-3 years ago, what are you doing with your own self in terms of keying into the capacity that AI brings? There's no technology that does not have its pros and cons. There's no technology that does not have its pros and cons. The bottom line is for us to take advantage of what we have and maximize the benefit of it. All right? So the fact that we've had to be cramming phone numbers in our heads in those years, technology comes and says, look, let me make it easier for you. Let me make it easier for you. All right? We're not going to go back to those dark days when things are a lot more difficult. Oyibo man says, let me make it easier for you. And that's where we are. That is what AI has brought. And let us leave the negativity of AI. And that's what it is.
Thank you very much. So everybody take your own. Somebody says Alzheimer's people will push their brains a lot less. So you can expect that as people age, their brain power will diminish and all of that. But to Ni's point, which is also where I am, early adopters usually gain an advantage. And for those who've lived decades, will remember at a time when here in Nigeria, people were saying, if you don't learn computer, if you do not learn to manipulate computers, soon you won't be able to do anything and all of that. That's where we are now, because even every smartphone in your pocket is a computer, and AI is highly computerized. But the smart ones know how to use it to their advantage. So that's what the lesson is. Use it to your advantage. Understand it. Read about it. Study it. And be clever in your usage of it. There is a way you can train AI to function so that you do not totally outsource your own thinking ability to AI, while you can then use AI to achieve things that you ordinarily will not be able to achieve just depending on your brain power, especially when you are not a genius. Thank you for that. Let me look at our time. Let's pivot. Ni. To the yam debate, which is still pounding, as Razak puts it. The question has always been, who has more yam tubers? Is it Nigeria or Ghana? Kofi Patel is not here for me to drag. I will not be surprised. Hold on. Sheriff, you are not Ogumosho, aren't you?
No, I'm not.
You are not Ogumosho?
No.
If you are Ogumosho, because Ogumosho people are the closest to Ghana. Many Ogumosho people are so close to Ghana that they speak Ghana, especially maybe not the young ones, not the younger ones, but the elderly ones. So the issue is, Ghana is now the world's largest exporter of yam. According to Ghana Export Promotion Authority, JEPA, the equivalent of Nigeria, they are the equivalent of Nigeria Export Promotion Council. Ghana exports of yam tubers reached a record high of $48 million last year. Niyi, Razak, we've had this conversation in this studio that Ghana is even getting a large chunk of its yam from Nigeria. And they've broken all records. They control 24% of the $200 million global export market. 24% of the global market for yam exports. they grew their export value from $38.5 million in 2018 to $48.2 million in 2021 over such span. Jamaica is second to them. They have 39. They averaged $39 million during the same period. Now, according to IITA, that's the International Institute of Tropical Agriculture, most of the world's production of yam comes from West Africa. 94% of yams going around globally is from West Africa. Now, how much does Nigeria produce? So West Africa produces 94%. Nigeria, 71%. Nigeria produces 71% of those huge numbers. Meanwhile, Ghana remains the region's largest exporter of yam. This is a technical knockout, isn't it, Nii? I don't know what to say. I know we've talked about this yam before, but checking these new stats, it just my blood is beginning to boil. What can we do? Nii, we seem to have lost Nii. Razak, is that you?
Yes, it's me. This is Razak.
Okay. It looks like we've lost Nii. Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
You heard the point I was making. So how is your mind working, Razak? Hello? Okay. We seem to have lost them. But again, food for thought.
I mean,
for those who are agriculturally inclined, and we all should be.
We all should be. If I may comment very briefly, I think we lost it all. We lost the plot the moment we moved away from agriculture, and we saw the liquid gold, and everybody rushed to the liquid gold. And everybody, since then, Nigeria, we felt we were making money, but then we're doing a lot more damage to our economy. Than everything we achieved when Nigeria was doing agriculture, we've not achieved with oil. We have the money, but the money is being embezzled every now and again. In agriculture, for some reason, I mean, the Southwest here can see for themselves what agriculture did, to the region. The North could see what agriculture did to the North. I feel that Nigeria has a problem with priorities, placing priorities where it should be. Yes, we have seen tremendous increase in non-oil exports in recent time, but you see the potential that Nigeria as a country has when it comes to agriculture is tremendous. It's huge, so much that we, Nigeria as a country, can survive, can be sufficient, self-sufficient, can even supply the rest of the world with whatever agricultural produce. And I'm sure that, Razak or Nii will agree that if we can do it right, if we can put in everything that we've got, if we can add technology to it, we will dominate the globe when it comes to agriculture. If you want to talk about yam, you want to talk about cotton, you want to talk about cocoa. I mean, these are agricultural produce that we have that we can export to the rest of the world, and we make good money, more than what the fuel is giving us.
Just look at the numbers. For Ghana to be the world's top yam exporter, they have to depend on Nigerian yam because we produce the most yam. And here we are. Again, we will look at that. We will look at the data in more depth, maybe in the coming week, when hopefully Razak and Nii will be in the studio in person, to see where Nigeria is in the grand scheme of things. We have the product. Sometimes you'd ask yourself, with so much, even with what we produce, for those who know, the level of wastage in terms of our food crops, yam especially. There was this day I drove to Ibadan to buy yam, this place where they will load like 20 something tubers of yam, large heaps, because you get a fairer bargain. So when I travel there, I like to fill the car with yam and come back, and then you will come back with the yam, and you find out they've all browned up inside. It's like a lot of it has gone bad. You barely find anything to eat from stuff you bought. There's so much wastage. There are so many opportunities. For whatever reason, we are not taking. I'm not saying Nigerians are not exporting, because some of the people who are taking this yam through Ghana are actually Nigerians.
I was going to say that most of the numbers, most of the figures in Ghana, these yams were moved from Nigeria to
it's
Ghana.
Nigerians. It's Nigerians, so which is good. And that is why Nigeria as a country, and the people who run the country should ask themselves the question: if my people have to route what they produce here through another country, what does it say about us leaders who are supposed to create the enabling environment for people to be able to thrive at a time when you demand so much? It's almost like you are fleecing the flock, you are taking so much from the people, but you're not doing enough. You're almost not budging the load you are heaping on people's head by making it conducive and enabling. What is it in Ghana? I remember there was a time when people, I don't know whether that's still, when people needed to travel out of Nigeria, they would have to claim Ghanaian Nigerians. Would have to route. There are certain things. If you wanted to get a PayPal account, you would have to use a Ghanaian. You'll probably go and download a VPN and use a Ghana address or Togo address. If you want to travel abroad, you would have to rig your way through Ghana.
There's just something that makes it difficult.
Why is it so difficult? Why is it, and what can be done? And I know it can get really tricky, and those who have experience in this matter could always share their thoughts using our WhatsApp or our phone. We still have about 5 minutes, so if you want to engage, feel free. But I guess we will expand on this subject next week because we had to wait a while for Niyi and Razak to catch up. Unfortunately, Lagos happened again, and they are stuck somewhere, unable to make it down to the studio. But have that thought in your mind that West Africa supplies over 90% of the world's yam. Nigeria supplies over 70% of the world's yam. And Nigeria is not the world's top exporter of yam. It is our neighbors. They are making a killing. And the thing with data, with this data, is that not everything that's captured, though. That is what has been captured.
That's right.
That's what has been captured. There is just so much that's also going on in the non-formal sector of, This is what is captured by the formal sector. And somebody's sitting there and thinking, how can I benefit? My advice will be start small. We've talked on this program how you could, what's the name of this man again? This is Mr. Ayo, who explained what he does. He has his house on literally a half plot of land, and everything is farm. The man is planting yam in material bags, like cement bags, all these small bags, and harvesting a ton of yams, even commercially. And we've said it before. Make good use of the small spaces, even if it is what do they call these poly bags that you're going to buy, and look for sand. Fill them up with sand. We'll probably bring that man on this program again to give people. I don't know whether he does a class, and I know there are some of these guys who do these agricultural classes, but it all starts with you planting something. Unfortunately, we grew as we were growing up. It didn't matter what our fathers did. The house always had a small garden. There was a garden. There were some things.
No matter how small.
Yeah. For instance, I was literally a teenager when I started getting used to buying vegetables. Vegetables were things we grew in our own orchard. You understand? Ugu, ewedu, bitter leaf, water leaf, what is it? Whatever it was, green. all this thing. You planted this thing. You even had some tomatoes.
If you don't have, your neighbors will have.
Yeah. You even had your tomatoes and rodo or tatache, those peppers. You just had those things. My father used to say that if I had my way, the only thing I would ever need to buy would be salt. Do you understand? If I had my way, because even palm oil, we had palm trees. And occasionally, we would produce our own oil. We would occasionally produce even our own gari and stuff like that. But all of that is gone because the land is no longer available. And even where it is available, families are selling their lands
there's no interest
to survive because I don't understand. And now we live in a time when the people who are feeding the nation are living in constant threat that they will be harassed or assaulted on the farmlands. So the farms are emptying. And now genetically modified organisms are being introduced. Somebody once said, please, whatever you do, make sure before the GMOs take over everything, plant. You see that mango you are eating, don't throw the seed away. If you have small sand in your compound, go and bury it, be watering it. Have at least one mango tree. Give yourself option. I was complaining about a guava drink that I saw with my wife the other day. I was like, why are people buying guava juices? Why not eat guava? And my wife asked me, when was the last time you saw a guava tree? When I was, if I'm not exaggerating, we must have had like close to 10 guava trees in my house when I was growing up. But all of that has changed. Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt. That is it for this week. We'll return next week. Just ponder over these things. Our broadcast will continue. What's Up Lagos is up next. We'll be back next
You
week.
are listening to your number one station for talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk. 99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.